So in the first part we have studied about Elvin Lindy, how without having the sense of hearing, how she was able to admire music, isn't it? How did she learn music at the same time and given inspiration to others also, isn't it? So how was she able to get a music of her own without having the sense of hearing? Yes, God had given her an extraordinary sense, isn't it? An extraordinary sense. What is that extraordinary sense? The sense of having the music with the vibration, with the help of the vibration, vibration made by the musical notes. And how did she influence it? How did she inspire it? With the parts of her body. That means with the parts of the body, she was able to get the music into her heart. So we have studied that how the sound of music was heard by or admired or taken in by Elvin Lindy. So now we are coming to the next Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Have you heard about Shehnai? Yes, in many of the films you have seen Mohanlal playing the Shehnai, isn't it? So it is also a musical instrument. So in this lesson we will come to know how that an instrument was given the name and how was Bismillah Khan famous. Understood? So now we are coming to the lesson. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pongi. So banning means what? Stop. Banned means stop. Who had stopped the playing of a musical instrument named pongi? It is the name of a instrument. Understood? I will read the first paragraph first and you listen carefully. All are listening carefully. At the same time, you should know each and every word what is being said in the paragraph. Okay, we'll start. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pongi. In the royal residence court, it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Pongi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pongi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pongi, and made several holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening, some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. The instrument, so different from the pongi, had to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shan's chambers and is played by a Nai, the instrument was named the Shehnai. Shehnai. Nai means N-A-I. Nai means a barber. Name of. So Nai means a barber. So how did that instrument pongi had got the name Shehnai? Understood? How was it got the name? Yes. First, during the time of Aurangzeb, he had stopped the instrument which was being used by that time. Why did he stop that music, that instrumental? Yes, because it was having a unpleasant sound. Because it was having an unpleasant sound. So, do you like to hear the music in the unpleasant sound? No, we should have a musical tone to be there, isn't it? Then only we can admire any language music, isn't it? Otherwise, will be able to admire. So what did he do? He had banned that instrument because it was having a shrill, unpleasant sound, musical sound. And then at the time, the family, they had that means a family of barber. They had, professionally, they are musicians. They are good in music. So they had instrument and made a new one by making holes in it. That means, have you seen like odapudal? It is like a odapudal. That means in between 2-3 holes are there, and when we press or when we use our fingers, the tone or the notes of the music can be changed. So like that it had been changed because they were barbers, isn't it? Because, so night was said to be called the barber. So that because they had replaced the old one and made a new musical instrument. So that musical instrument which had been made by the barber's family, the instrument's name was given as a shema. Understood now how the instrument got the name? Okay, now listen. Understood how it got the name? Yes, because who had replaced it and made a new, revived it? A barber. Now look, Emperor, so the story goes back to during whose time? Aurangzeb. Emperor Aurangzeb band means stopped the playing of a musical instrument called the puggy. So what was the instrument used at that time? In the royal residence court, it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Shrill means sharp. Shrill, sharp. So it is not very sooth to hear it, isn't it? It should be very musical. So it was having an unpleasant sound. That sound is not making pleasing. So what did he do? Hoarse sound, hard and hoarse sound. So what did he do? He stopped the use of that instrument. Pungi became the genetic name for reeded noise maker. So it was a name given for the whole type of that group of that musical instruments. So many other, including this also, many are there, but all are having the same that unpleasant sound. So he stopped the whole group of that musical instrument. Pungi became the genetic name for reeded noise maker. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. Revived means it will come alive. That means it will again take its birth from the old to a new one. So they thought, okay, that instrument, the group of instrument is now stopped, but still waited for what? For a newborn of new instrument. Understood? For a new coming of a new instrument. A barber of a family of professional musicians. That means among the musicians, a family of barber was there who were professionally musicians. And one among them who was assessed to the royal palace. Assessed means who used to come where? To the royal palace. Royal means to the kingdom. King, who is the king? Aurangzeb. He used to come there. Decided to improve the tonal quality of the bird. So he, while coming, he had understood about the banning of that instrument, isn't it? So now he thought of bringing that old one to a new one, which is having a new musical sound. So what did he do? Usually he used to visit the kingdom, visit the court, and now he decided to make a new bird to that instrument. He chose, what did he do? How that musical instrument has been changed. Now look, he chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pugi. That means already one instrument is there. So he made another one which is not having a hollow. That means like a mula, you know, mula. How it is hollow inside, isn't it? So when we cut it on both sides, you can see the hole there. You have seen the musical instrument like that, isn't it? He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that is longer and broader than the pungi. Then made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. Then how many holes he made? He made a odapudal, have you seen? Yes, similar to that. That is also of a longer one looks like a pipe which are having holes in it, and through the holes when the finger is being pressed, what is being produced? the sound is being produced, isn't it? That comes the musical sound. So here the barber also made a similar one which is broader and hollow, and made how many holes? 7 holes he had made. 7 holes he had made. When he played on it, and then he started playing the music, closing and opening some of the holes. That means using his fingers, closing and opening, what did he do? He played the music. Soft and melodious sound was produced. Now how was the sound produced? It was melodious, it was sweet and musical. Understood now? So that the old one which was having that unpleasant sound, when it was developed into a new one, making 7 holes in it and playing by using the fingers of the hand, what happened to the music? It had totally changed. It became melodious. Understood? He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. Impressed means affected. So he took the new instrument and went to the court and he played the musical sound over there. So everyone was impressed. Everyone was attracted to it. The instrument so different from the cooking had to be given a new name. So now already which was in existence was being banned and another one has been invented, isn't it? So now that new one has to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chamber. Chamber means yes, rooms in the court. That means before the king. And it was played by the Nai. Nai means barber. The instrument was named in Shehnai. So first it was played in front of the Shahs and it was played by a barber. So combining Shah and Nai, what name was given? Shehnai was given. Understood? So now you understood how the new instrument came into existence. Yes. Have you seen the picture? You can see the picture. The old cookie and now the Shehnai is there. That means it looks like what? Yes, in the temple and during the old time marriage and all, this kind of instrument is being used, isn't it? To play the flute. Yes, similar to the flute. Drum and this. Understood, all of you? Now we'll see the sound. The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious, and for this reason it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. In the past, the Shehnai was part of the Nabat and traditional resemblance of 9 instruments found at the royal court. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Who is the person? Ustad Bismillah Khan. So he was the person who had brought this instrument in front of the people. Understood? In front of the people. Who had brought this instrument? Yes, Ustad Bismillah Khan. Understood? So in olden times where it was being used? Only for weddings and the temples. I think you also have seen that. At least in the films and all. In the old music along with the drum beating. This one also is there. Isn't it? The people will be playing the flute. So after that, who had brought into in front of for the performance? Ustad Bismillah Khan. The sound of Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. Auspicious means bringing good fortune. That means it is having a future. And for the reason it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component. Indispensable means impossible component of any North Indian wedding. That means it was a part of the wedding in the north. That means this instrument came a part for the wedding, especially in North India. Even in South also we had seen in temple and in the marriage in the olden times, but nowadays those all have been changed into yes, recording, isn't it? Only records are being played. We are not seeing any people playing over it, but it is all recorded. So it became a part component of any North Indian wedding. In the past, the Shehnai was part of a Navrat, a traditional ensemble of 9 instruments. The ensemble means a group of 9 instruments. That means in the court already how many instruments should be there? 9. Group of 9 instruments. Found in the royal court. Till recently it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument on the classical stage goes to Ustad Bilal Khan. So this among the 9 musical instruments, which is the one among the 9 which has been used in the royal courts? Yes, Shehnai. Understood now how the name was given to that instrument and how the name was given and how it has been changed or developed from this old position to the new one, because it was made by a barber in name of him. What has been given? Shehnai. The name of that instrument, Shehnai. So in our olden times, it was a part of the wedding ceremony, isn't it? It was a part of the ceremony. That means it cannot be, it was impossible not to be added. So it is added along with the marriage function. And then especially in the temples it is being used, and now for the performance, and it was brought in front of the people by Ustad Bismillah Khan. That much you understood, all of you? Next. Now we are saying the life story of Bismillah Khan. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played gilli danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Damrod in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Biharaji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chauta, at the end of which he would learn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. So, how the music has been started by Bismillah Khan, at what age, and how did he had gained the musical instrument to become a well-known famous singer. Understood? And he had got what? He had been awarded the Bharat Ratna Award. He had been awarded the Bharat Ratna Award. Now look, as a 5-year-old, only when he was 5 years old, Bismillah Khan played gilli danda near a pond in the ancient state of Damrod in Bihar. So he used to play the instrument. And where he used to play? He used to go to the pond, near the pond, sit over there and play the flute. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg. So every day he used to go to the temple and sing it. Why? Especially for what? Not for pleasing the God, it is only for getting the laddu, which is having a weight of 1.25 kg. Understood? A prize given by the local. So he used to go there and sing or play the music, and then he would get that laddu from the Maharaja. So daily the child used to go there. This happened 80 years ago. The story goes back to 80 years. And the little boy had travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. So that 5-year child had gone many far distance and had reached up to get the Bharat Ratna award. The Indian highest Indian civilian award. Understood? I'll go to it. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played gill-danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Damon in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Biharaji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Charita, at the end of which, after singing, which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kilogram, a prize given by the local mart. That means as a prize. That time it was not given money, it was given the sweet. In North India, in many temples we can see their famous sweet laddu is being served. Understood? Here we will get only chandanam and flowers, isn't it? But in North India, they give laddus. No chandanam and flowers at all. As prasad, they used to give laddus. So this, for getting that laddu, the child used to go there for singing. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy had travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. That means he had travelled a lot to get what Bharat Ratna. That means not simply going in a bus or a train. Yes, he had gone through that musical instrument and had achieved to get for the highest Indian civilian award, Bharat Ratna. Understood all of you? So now we have studied how the name or how the new instrument, musical instrument has developed, and who had developed it, and how it was being developed, and who had brought it in front of the stage for the performance, isn't it? So who is the person? Who is the person? Ustad Bismillah. Now, born on 21st March 1960. When was he born? 21 March 1960. Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather Rasool Baus Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur King's court. His father Paigambar Baus and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. So totally the whole members of the family are whom? Shehnai players. So he had got that great music interest from whom? From his father, grandfathers, isn't it? Now look. Born on 21st 1960, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family. Well-known means not totally rich or of a well-known famous family, musicians from Bihar. So the whole family is well-known for music. And where? Bihar. His grandfather Rasool Baus Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpuri kings. So he used to sing in the court of Bhojpur king. His father Paigambar Baus and other paternal ancestors. Paternal means ancestors of his father from the father's side. Ancestors were also great Shehnai players. So father, grandfather and many of the family members were playing which instrument? Yes, Shehnai, and they all are famous people. Understood? So that is why the small child of 5, when he was only 5 years old, that interest had come in him, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes. So as usual, if any musicians are there in our family also, that interest will come in us also, isn't it? That is why it is said ancestral. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to the maternal uncle's house in Benares, now Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Baus to the Vishnu temple of Benares, where Baus was employed to play the Shehnai. Ali Baus would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and sit practicing throughout the day. 4 years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he would practice in solitude. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that was earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. So how did the notes of the music came into his mouth? How did he arrange the notes? Yes, he used to sit the branches of the Ganga and the flow of the water, the sound made by the flow of the water had made him make the ragas. Understood? It is something great, yes or no? Yes. So, the young boy took to music early in life, very early itself. He was interested in music and was diverted to music. At the age of 3, that means when he was only 3 years old, mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Benares. So he had been brought where? To his uncle's house, that is in Benares and today's Varanasi. Bismillah was fascinated means attract. Watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. So he was surprised to or attracted to what? Practice done by his uncle. Soon Bismillah started accompanying him, Uncle Ali Baus, to the Vishnu temple of Benares, where Baus was employed to play the Shehnai. So every day, who used to go to the Vishnu temple? Yes, his uncle Ali Baus used to go to the Vishnu temple to play Shehnai. Along with his uncle, who used to go to the Vishnu temple, Bismillah Khan also used to go. He was 5 years old, isn't it? Ali Baus would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. So, till the end of the music, playing the music of Shehnai, till the end, he used to sit and listen to music. Sorry. He would sit and listen to the music. So if you were there, what you will do? In between you will run off, isn't it? But the small child, because he is having that fascination in music, what did he do? Maybe hours, 1 hour, not 1 hour or 2 hours, maybe hours. How far the uncle is sitting there playing the Shehnai till the end, who used to sit there? Bismillah. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. Then as the days had passed, he used to practice himself the instrument. 4 years to come, the temple of Balaji. Balaji temple means Hanuman, yes. And the Mangala Maya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice. Apprentice means only a trainer. Apprentice, trainer. He is only a trainer, isn't he? He is only training himself. Favorite haunts. Haunts means place. Favorite places where he could practice in solitude. So which are the places where he sit alone and practice the playing of Shehnai? Yes, in the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maya. And the banks of the river Ganga. There he used to sit alone practicing himself the instrument Shehnai. Do you do that? No, if we are interested, we will do, isn't it? But nobody should force us. It all should come from our own heart. Yes or no? Yes, it should come from our heart, not by pushing by somebody, isn't it? Only when we are interested in something, only we can learn it. By pushing from back, it will not help you. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise. Improvise means to create. Improvise, create. Create and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. That means, beyond the range means more than what has been on existence. More than what is in existence. So those running waters, the sound produced by the running waters in the river Ganga have, according to the flow of the running water, who had created a musical Bismillah Khan has created the musical tones and notes. And that is why it is said something beyond the range of Shehnai. Understood now? At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle. So this was only at the age when he was 5 years old and while going. Now coming to the age of 14. Uncle to the Allahabad music conference. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938, came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. Now first time coming on the All India Radio. How he got a part in the radio playing Shehnai. At the age of 14, so what was his age? 14. Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad music conference. He had gone with his uncle where to the music conference in Allahabad. At the end of his recital, Ustad, after playing the Shehnai, and at the end, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted means patting on the shoulder, young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." That means how much you work hard, you can achieve it. This was what being said by whom? Ustad Fayaz Khan. Work hard and you shall make it. That means you will be able to achieve it. For that you work hard. With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938, so with the coming of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938, Bismillah's big break. There was a break in his life. It was a turning point in the life of Bismillah. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on him. So how it can be said a turning point? Because his playing of Shehnai was a daily routine where through All India Radio. Understood? So we have come up to the 6th paragraph of this part 2, and now you just go through it. All the 6 parts saying about how the musical instrument came into existence, then the life history of Bismillah Khan, and how he had been able to achieve the highest civilian Indian award, Bharat Ratna, and now after that he had accompanied his uncle to the stage. Clear to you? Okay.